What's going on, good people? Welcome back to another episode of bwaynepresents, sponsored by Promarketize. Don't just advertise, Promarketize. I'm back today as your host, B Wayne, and I'm here with Nika. What's going on, Nika?
Nothing much. How are you?
Doing very well. I really appreciate your time. We had some back and forth trying to get this set up, but we got it
Mhm.
done, and I appreciate you so very much. Nika, if you would, go ahead and tell the good people your age and where you're located.
I'm 48 and I'm located in Covington, Georgia.
Now, what we discussed beforehand, before
Mhm.
this, before we began to record, is that you're
Mhm.
actually from Texas.
Yes.
And you caught some flack from some people close to you because you relocated from Texas
Yeah.
To the Atlanta
Yeah.
area, right?
Yeah.
And I get it. I understand. I'm gonna have you explain what your reasoning was and how you like the difference. But anybody I've ever talked to that spent time in Texas has only
Hmm.
had good things to say about Texas. So
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
really never heard anything negative about Texas. What was your experience like coming up in Texas, and what made you decide to relocate to GA?
Honestly, I love Texas. I miss home. I think it's a beautiful place, and like I said, Texas is like the melting pot. You're gonna get every race, every culture. We got all kinds of food, so it's different. You have a variety of everything, and it's just nice here. It's just nice. Uh, you're gonna make a nice amount of money. As far as jobs and stuff go, you can do pretty much anything, and you can get a job. But I can say, for me, Texas is kind of it is the melting pot. So I people be like, well, you're from Texas, and there's a lot of black people there. Yeah, but they're everywhere. They're spread out. So coming to Georgia, I experienced like all black neighborhoods, all black restaurants, all like a lot of black ownership, and I just liked the blackness of Georgia. I never experienced that. Like I said, I was raised in mostly all white schools and neighborhoods, and so I didn't know it was a lot of us out there. Which is it kind of embarrassing to say. So I went to just outside of traveling, I realized like, wow, it's a lot of black people and they're doing well for themselves, not outside my little circle. So just get out of my circle, branching out. And I just like the blackness of Atlanta. I think it's a beautiful thing how we get together, how you network together, how people have wealth. And they're big on, I felt like for me, they're more like-minded as far as where I'm at. And I felt like me moving to Atlanta was necessary for where I'm trying to go forward in life. So yeah.
Well, before I go to that,
Hmm.
because I'm gonna ask about your any aspirations and what you plan on doing next now that
Hmm.
you're there. When you said it was embarrassing that you got out and you saw something different. You know what it reminded me of? Oddly, it reminded me of, you remember the movie Malcolm X? I don't know if you've seen it,
What is
but
it?
basically, so Malcolm X, basically he was practicing a certain form of Islam through the nation. And
Hmm.
anybody that, if you see this and I'm incorrect, feel free to correct me. But it's
Hmm.
through the nation, which is basically a subsect of is the Islamic culture
Yeah.
that basically is, mostly or all, black people.
Hmm.
When he actually branched out and he saw what Islam was really about outside of the small subsect that he was exposed to,
Hmm.
you realize that, he began to see things differently. He had basically an epiphany. And like, white people, Asians, Hispanics, people of all different colors, we can worship and we can praise and we can pray together. So
Hmm.
I don't think it's embarrassing at all. I feel like it's just, sometimes you just have to be exposed to something new to think differently and realize that there's, something
Exactly.
out there. So
I
it's
agree.
about growth and development. As far as growth and development goes, now I've spent
Hmm.
time in Atlanta, beautiful place. Um, to the guys, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, if you don't know nothing about dating women in Atlanta, don't go over there with no money. Don't go over there with no money trying to pick up no woman in Atlanta. They don't get down like that. Now Nika is new to Atlanta, so I don't,
Hmm.
how she came up in Texas. I don't know how they got down. I came up
Ah,
in the Carolinas. I came up in Charlotte. In Charlotte, you could approach a young lady wherever, and if you come at her correctly, and if you look halfway
yeah.
decent, you act like you got some sense, you got a shot. You got a
Yeah.
shot. In Atlanta, they're looking at what you got, and it
Hmm.
is what it is, and that's no
And that's
doubt.
not just the women; it's the men as well.
It's
It's
the men as well.
multicultural.
It's a subculture unto itself. How have your experiences been so far And as far as have you begun dating in Atlanta? Have you been there long enough to start dating or no?
Uh, I've gone on a few dates, but I think that was kind of like when I first got there. But I can't say like I've had some bad experiences and I've had some good experiences. Um, but like I said, with I noticed like the first question, I don't like that. Like, what do you do? Like, that's the first thing you ask me. So, what do I do? Because I feel like if you're trying to get to know me, what I do is not who I am. So, I
Right.
leading with that.
Right.
I'm not used to that because I know like it
Well,
takes
let
a
me
certain
ask you this: not to cut you off, does it go?
Mhm.
Does it work both ways for men and women?
It does. It does. I
In
think
your
it's
mind?
rude. I think
Okay.
it's rude.
Okay.
Because how you know, like you can ask me like about myself, where I'm from. And but I get it though. Because sometimes people don't even want to move forward with you. It's like, oh, if you like I bust dishes at but that don't mean you can't help them get a job. You can't help I
Right.
because
Right. Right.
in a sense, you kind of want somebody that's either on your level or doing better. But I feel like that's not what you lead with. Like if you genuinely like somebody, see if there's a genuine connection. And I'm big on chemistry, stuff like that. Because I mean, I just genuinely like people. But there's just some connections that's just no, and I just notice a lot of times I've never met so many men that are just in it like outside of like Atlanta that they're just so into what you have and status and what you do. I've never been asked that so much in my life.
I've never seen anything like it. Something else when I would approach a woman, the first thing I would ask if I approach a young lady is something along the lines of what your status is. Are you
Mhm,
single? Do you have a man? If I don't, this is if I don't see a ring. Obviously, if I see a ring, I'm not even going to approach. But
mhm.
if there is no ring, hey, do you mind if I ask this, that, or the third? And I found that women were like taken aback, and they found me to be aggressive. And I was
Really?
like, what? Because I guess you're supposed to walk up, hey, how you doing? How you like such and such? What's da 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 da? And you make conversation. But in my mind, there's no reason to make conversation with you if you
If
got a
you're not
ring.
even available.
I'm not gonna waste my time or yours. So when the guys are approaching, if they are still approaching,
Not really.
do okay. So that's yeah, that's a
But I understand that too because a lot of times black women are rude. I've seen it a lot, and I had to tell some of my friends like that was not called for. He's still a man, and just like you don't want your feelings hurt or anybody handling you like that, this is why black men do not approach black women because it's come with aggression. And once they stop talking to you and stop approaching you, then that's a problem. So don't make it a problem when he approaches you and he speaks. You can be courteous. If you're not interested, just say that. But you don't even have to say it like that. Just say, you know what? Oh, thank you. No, I appreciate it. But I have someone. But thank you so much for. I appreciate you. Compliment them. Hell, I'll send you a drink. But I appreciate that, the men that still do that. And I like the confidence in that because a lot of or if you don't feel confident doing that and you just want to send a drink or, I don't know what I'm used to that. I'm used to like Southern gentlemen. So yes, they still open doors, pump your gas. I'm like, I was a granny's baby. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, this is different. They different. Yeah. So cause
it's
I'm
it
I'm kind of like that too. Like um caretaking, like I'm gonna if I message you, I message you, I'm gonna take care of you. But I tell like my guy friends like, hey, um I said I promise you the situation would work out like I feel like the man makes secures the woman and you're going to get the best version of that person by the security that you provide in that relationship because I can be confident it's all get out but you can also break a person's confidence.
right.
So if I'm in a situation or I'm dating somebody and you don't make me feel secure, then why this is why you get all this stuff that goes on in your relationships because the woman does not feel secure. Because I got some friends that are in polygamous relationships and that woman is secure in that man. Like,
Yeah.
and she stays and holds it down and cooks and they are in it and it's no drama, which I'd never seen anything like that before. But
Is that
there's
something?
security.
Is that something that you're open
I am
to?
not, but I've been asked a lot. No, no, I'm not interested
You
because
you find that you're more traditional when it comes to your
I
values.
am. Because I feel like I don't want shared because
Yeah.
I'm like I feel like you can't give me 100% of yourself or 50-50, whatever how it goes, however people look at it. But I feel like you can't give me your whole self if you're sharing it with other people, and I don't feel comfortable giving you me because you're
Yeah.
sharing it up with other people. So
Which
I'm
is
okay.
only fair. But I do respect if you
Mhm.
live that lifestyle, and if you
Yeah,
come
and I do.
out, whatever you do, if you're honest about it, fellas, all you got to do is be honest. It
Mhm.
keeps you out of so much drama. I don't condone cheating on any level. Girlfriend,
Yeah.
boyfriend stuff, I don't care. The government don't respect boyfriend, girlfriend. God don't respect, neither do I. But if you're in a relationship, whether married or you're in a relationship, and you're real, like this is what I got going on,
Mhm.
really, a lot of people will help you cheat. You don't have to be
Yeah,
real with them. They'll help you keep your lie from
that's
the
true.
person that you're trying to keep from. I don't condone it. But if you're honest, that's really all anybody can ask from you is
True.
honesty when it comes to this stuff. Because we
Mm.
all make mistakes and we all, let each other down. Just keep it real.
That's
Um, so you moved to Atlanta. You love it. You love seeing the blackness. People
true.
starting their companies and these businesses. Do you yourself also have aspirations of entrepreneurship?
I do. So I just recently became a licensed broker, but I'm an operations manager for mortgage banking.
Congratulations.
Um, Thank you. So I'm excited about, like, honestly, the connections that I've made thus far have been grand. So it's been really exciting. Um, because of like I've been kind of like going out and trying to like network with people, going
Right.
to like events and stuff like that. And so I feel like the people that I've come into contact with, and like I said, I'm big on energy and being like-minded and being around people that I feel like I can grow from or that I can learn from. So that's my goal going forward. And also I feel like I have a lot of information when it comes to that stuff. And being able to help people break curses and build wealth, and doing that through insurance. And it's something like that I feel like us as, brown people, black and brown people, that's not something that we were taught. Like I feel like white people got 100 plus years ahead of the game, and their families are set up, and we're just getting started. So
Mhm.
I feel like I'm able to help people in a grand way from the to build legacies going forward because of the knowledge that I know. So I'm excited about how being able to help people. Yeah.
And shout out to our Caucasian counterparts, our
Mhm.
non-racist white
Mhm.
brothers and sisters, pardon me, out there. Um, you guys, we're kind of like, and people get me. I get mixed results when I say what I'm about to say, but it's kind of like black folks are the adopted. Y'all are y'all's adopted kids.
Mhm.
And you learn positive things and you learn some negative things, and we got molested along the way.
Mhm.
But all along the way, we learned some things from you. We don't ever give props. We talk about y'all appropriating our culture, but we
Mhm.
did learn some things from you all that are positive and beneficial. And so you have black folks that are not that we didn't have common sense, but we came from a place where we were the least of. And so we had to rebuild and rebrand ourselves and relearn ourselves. And we took some of that from you guys. And now you got black folks doing yoga and Pilates. You got black folks being more conscious of what they eat and what they put in their body. You have
Ah,
black folks, taking better care of themselves. And you have
true.
black folks, operating spirituality in ways
Mhm.
that where they're finding peace. I don't recommend, I'm Christian, but if you have found peace within yourself,
Mhm.
and loving yourself using crystals and chakra. I believe Jesus is the only way to those things. But if you experiment with that stuff and it helps you
Oh,
through
that's
some
funny.
trying times, then hey, more power to you. But shout out to white folks because we did get some positive things from you guys as well. So I know it's
So,
like we only
on
did.
that note, I am spiritual. I'm not really big on Christianity. I grew up in it, and Jesus and all of that, but I do believe that there's a God. I do believe
Right.
in God, but I don't believe that, excuse my language, that white people gave us anything that's going to benefit us. So that's why I feel like the Bible is generated from white people.
Mhm.
And
Definitely understand that.
so I just, and that's how I was raised. And I've been in
Right.
leadership. I was in leadership in church. I sung in choir, danced, spoke, children's church. I grew up in the church. My
Yeah.
whole family is church. And it's just, I feel like we're like that because we didn't have a choice. That was bred within us. And so now that
Mhm.
I have a choice to choose what I get to do or what I believe in, but I don't feel like people should just not believe in nothing, because that
Yeah.
would make a horrible place to live in.
Yeah.
So I don't go against anybody's whatever they, I don't care who they believe in. If wind is their God, then wind is their God. I feel like God is who you need them to be. And if that works for you, that works for you. But I learned about spirituality, and it has kind of healed me because I felt like I've been able to be tapped in with myself and God, divine, the universe, and the earth, and how we are God living here on earth. We are not God Himself, but we are God's goddess and goddesses here on earth. We are, because I said the Bible says there's no greater God than the God that's within thee. So that means you are a great God to me.
I
Yeah.
respect it. I will say this, and then we'll move on unless you have something else you want to say on this topic. The Bible was definitely misappropriated,
Mhm.
and it was definitely misused, and it was
Yeah.
abused
Hmm.
for the benefit of certain people.
Right.
But always keep in mind, I can take almost anything.
Hmm.
I can take this ink pen, and
Hmm.
if you didn't know what this ink pen was, I could do all kinds of horrible things to you with
Right.
the
Right.
pen, right? And
Hmm.
then 100 years later, you come across people that are like, "Yeah, this pen is the greatest thing ever," and you be like, "Man, pens are horrible. And I don't care what y'all talking about. Y'all are horrible people, and you mess with these ink pens." So it wasn't. Christ has never been tainted. But
Hmm.
Christ was misused, and his word was misappropriated and
I
used to
agree.
abuse and take advantage of certain people. When you get to know Jesus for who he really is and what he's really about, it'll change your life. But I respect your beliefs. And if you're a better person and a happier person than you used to be because of whatever you choose to do, then hey, to God be the glory. Um, so you have entrepreneurial aspirations, so I'm proud. And I want
Thank
to tell you before I
you.
forget, thank you, sis, for being somebody that says, "Hey, you don't have to talk to black men like that. You don't have to
Oh,
treat that brother that
I
way.
love black men. I think
You
y'all
don't."
are
You don't.
amazing. I love it. I just feel like a lot of times, a lot of black, I think because on the alternate spectrum, it's like black women are always told that, like black men don't like you, they don't love you, and you're not treated a certain way by black men. But I feel like, again, a lot of black people, or black families and men and women in general, we did not see or receive healthy love. We didn't see it, we didn't receive it. So how can I love you properly if I don't love myself and I've never seen love? So a lot of us need to go to counseling, and we need to talk, and we need to work on healing. Healing that trauma, healing that inner child, healing those, because your childhood matters. Like, you got to heal that baby, and then that teenager, and now that adult. An adult can't be healed until those other people are healed. So you can't properly love anybody because you don't properly love yourself. And so, it- unfortunately, we learn that out. We find that stuff out later, and we take on a lot of trauma and abuse and neglect, whatever comes from that. And just, we don't want to heal it. We don't want to work on it because that's been tainted as well, right? We don't talk to counseling. We just go to God. No, you need to talk to somebody. I mean, you also have God. That's a plus, but you need to talk to somebody. And I feel like, yeah, we just don't know how to. We don't know how. We're not healed, and we don't know how to properly love each other. That's all.
That's something else I will give credit to our Caucasian brothers and sisters for.
Hmm.
White folks, y'all will go get counseling. Y'all
Hmm.
will go get therapy. And pardon me, in our community, I want y'all to understand, white people, in our community, we're taught to keep everything on the inside, in
Hmm.
house, right?
Yep.
Am I
Yep.
lying? You
What
don't
going in our house, stay in our
stay
house.
in our house, and that comes from it. It really, unfortunately, it's a slavery mentality
Hmm.
because we're used to people. Everybody outside, we can't trust them
Hmm.
because the policeman might beat you, the
They're not
nurse
for
might
us.
try to
They're
do
for
something to
them.
you,
They're not here
the
for us.
teacher might do something to you.
Hmm.
Everybody around us on the outside of us, and we could get killed trying to say, well, this person in my family did this or that. Not because somebody's trying to protect us, but it's just, hey, it's an excuse and an opportunity to hurt a person of color. So we
Right.
learn to be very, very tribal. And
Hmm.
so we don't give, and so we have to deal with our oppressors in house, that uncle that's molesting us, or
Hmm.
that dad that's abusing us, or that cousin that's doing this or that. We don't tell anybody, we deal with it, we keep it in house. And so you get older, you realize, nah, that's not cool, that's trauma.
Hmm.
That was neglect, that was abuse, that was this, that was
Right.
that. But you do that from talking to a counselor. So I
Yeah.
recommend everybody, if you haven't dealt with a therapist or a counselor, black people, it is okay to get help,
It's okay.
right?
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about what you like. After you get
Um,
out here, what type of dude could you see yourself saying, "Yo, this is the type of guy"? First of all, how long? I don't even know. If we. It's been an interesting conversation. Again, I
oh,
appreciate the time. I don't even know. Did I ask you how long have you been single?
um, I've been in Atlanta now for 2 years, so it'll be 4 years.
Okay, so you left Hubs in Texas. You moved to okay. Do you got babies? You got youngins? You got
I
more
had
older
my
kids?
son. That's when I told you I accidentally got here. That was divinely worked out. He crossed yesterday, and I was able to be here accidentally. So he's 25. Yeah,
Okay, so you
yeah.
got a
So
25
that's
year
it.
old.
That's him. Hmm.
You've been single for a couple of years,
Hmm.
kind of exploring some options, kind of ready to see what's out there, and
Yeah,
maybe be open to the possibility of a gentleman coming
yeah.
at you correctly and maybe seeing where it could go.
Right.
Who is your ideal candidate for that position? Who is what's the
Um,
type of guy would you be open to getting close to and maybe having court you?
I'm gonna say somebody one that's confident within, that has self love. That's a leader.
Self love is so important.
It is that,
It's very
or
underrated.
working on healing, like we
Hmm.
working on the best version of yourself.
Hmm.
Somebody that can speak life into you, because I feel like I'm that type of person. I kind of want somebody that is like me. I'm trying to be like the person that I want to attract, in a sense.
I
That
would
is
tell
learn.
people, I used to tell my
Mhm.
people, my friends, when a guy, how do you know a guy for a guy, like ladies that would ask me, how do you know when you've met that? I used to say, I don't even know where it came from. I'm Christian, but this didn't come out the Bible. I said that it would be a female version of myself.
Pretty
Like
much.
if I looked at a woman, she'd be like the healthier version, or a woman. I'm looking at her and looking in the mirror at like the better parts of myself,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
female version of that. And
That,
that
yep.
to me is how you know when you've met somebody special. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I agree. No, I mean, I honestly, I agree. And I felt, but the biggest thing for me was, I said, so I feel like if I meet a man that is so beautiful that I feel like I would want to bear his child,
Mm.
and I don't want no more kids, but I feel like we need another one of this person, like, because he's just so beautiful on the inside, that we need, I'm willing to have a child for
We
that.
need duplicates. We need duplicates. We need to clone
We
this
need
joker.
more of these.
Right, right, right. That's
That
beautiful.
man, because I was
That's
like, you
beautiful.
just be like, you just sit there in awe and amazement of this. He's just beautiful, like every, and not just looks, in a sense. For me, it's the person. Like, he's just, his insides are just beautiful. Like, he's just beautiful. It's the soul. You got a beautiful soul, period. And I want you to know what it looks like. Even if you have not, you didn't grow up like that, but you seen, like, you have to have had some type of male figure that was like you were able to look up to, so you know what it's like to lead and to love properly. You've seen it, or you're working on it. um and just constant growing and communication. You need to be able to receive communication, and you need to be able to communicate. And are you able to love? Like, are you open to love? Are you able and capable of loving? Because like I said, not being healed, that's going to be hard for you to do, right? So, but I mean, I feel like, again, it's a lot of good men out here. I think they've been hurt, and women have been hurt, and people are just out here for self. And this person hurt me, so you just running havoc on everybody's life. They didn't do it. I didn't do it. You know. So we got to work on that. It's a big deal. Like, seriously, everybody not trying to hurt you, and it's just figuring that out. Yeah.
It's very interesting when you meet a young lady and you can tell by her communication how healthy she is or is not. And
Mhm.
I actually have had people watch these videos
Mhm.
and they've been like, she's not healthy, or she's not ready for a relationship,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
she's this or she's that. And so you can actually tell, and it's no disrespect to anybody that I've talked to and anybody I'm going to talk to going forward, but there are signs, there are indicators of where
Yeah.
you're at emotionally and how healthy
Mhm.
you are. And it's very apparent and obvious that you're a very healthy young lady who is, more prepared than less prepared to
Mhm.
meet somebody.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit more about you and who you are. We talked about what you like and what you be open to. Let's talk about who you are. We know what you know. You're in
Mhm.
insurance. You
Mhm.
got your broker's license here
Mm.
recently, and again, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
You have entrepreneurial aspirations. You got a
Mhm.
25-year-old son. What do you like? What do you love? What makes you happy? What do you do in your downtime to relax? What
So
what what type of
I work a lot. So I am working on this whole work life balance situation because
oh
taking
work
that
life
on has been a
balance?
lot. It's been a lot because I'm more like I will kind of drown myself in work. So I know so I feel like people are not self aware. I'm very big on like what my faults are, what I need to work on, and like writing that stuff down and what is the process to getting to being because it's like okay, those 3 4 things about me I don't like what are you doing to work on that? So I'm big on that. But like work life balance, I know I need to work on. So that's kind of been an issue as well. Not necessarily being just being so available. Um but I did that for a reason too, right? So but I want somebody that like I said is emotionally healthy and stable and can love. They're healthy emotionally, but I feel like I'm open to that. And I want somebody that can communicate because I communicate well and that is understanding, that's financially stable, and that's looking to like build together. I'm open because I want to start building legacies and leaving stuff behind. And so if we have children, I would prefer somebody that has older children because again, I want to enjoy the rest of I love kids. I love them. But I want to enjoy my person because I've been a parent since I was 5 years old. Like raising me, my sister, and my brother. I've not really been able to be a kid. So I'm like a big kid. I'm very responsible, but like I want to go have fun. You can take me to Chuck E. Cheese and I want to have a good time at Chuck E. Cheese. They be looking at. I'm a big kid. I love to have fun. I love basketball, so I love LeBron James. I'm from Akron, Ohio
Hey,
originally.
that's my guy.
So I love him. I'm a 49ers fan. I'm diehard 49ers girl. Um, Jerry Rice. And I go to games. I'm going to go see the Lakers. I'm going to go to the football games. Um, I love cars, like muscle cars, old school cars. Um, yeah, I love cars. And let me see what else.
What's your what's
Foodie.
your i- what's
Hmm?
your what's your what's your ideal car? If money was no object, what car would you get?
I like the Chevelle.
Really?
I like it, yeah. And I like
That's a classic.
Camaro. Huh? I
I
like the
like Camaros too.
old school. Yeah, I like the
Yeah,
Camaro, and then of course I like the Shelby, the Mustang. That's just classic.
Camaros
Yeah,
are
those are my
badass.
three.
They're beautiful cars.
Oh, and the Challenger, old
Challenges
school.
too.
I like all the old school stuff, like
Okay,
everything old.
okay,
Yeah, I like
okay.
all those. So those are my four. Yeah, but
Chevelle, Challenger, Camaro, and what was the other one?
and you got
Chevelle,
Chevelle.
Chevelle, Challenger, Camaro, and what else?
What did I say? Chevelle,
Charger. Did I say
Camaro,
Charger?
Challenger,
And
and
Charger.
oh, I said the Charger. Yeah, Charger.
Okay, okay.
Not Charger,
I
Challenger.
Challenger.
hmm
So
Remember the Dukes of Hazard?
yeah, yeah.
that
I love the
that one.
Camaro. The Camaro is I love the Camaro the best out of all.
Yes,
You said
they
you're a
nice.
foodie. You said you're a
I'm
foodie.
a
What
foodie.
kind of
I
food?
travel to eat.
Okay.
Like I travel, I like to travel to different places, and am going to go look up all the kind of foods they have because I want to try stuff. Now I'm allergic to dang near everything. Um, but I really just only eat like seafood, ground turkey. I'll eat beef every now and again. I'm allergic to pork. Um, and
Well, that's
a
not
lot of
bad. I
stuff.
thought you was gonna say you was allergic to seafood. That would have been tragic.
Oh no.
Tragic.
So I grew up eating pork chops and stuff like that, but I just went on this cleanse and I stopped eating like everything pretty much. And just outside of like turkey, I didn't eat like none of that, just turkey and like seafood. That's it. So when my mom cooked some ham one day for Thanksgiving and asked me to try it, and I broke out in hives and ended up in the hospital on steroid drips from this much, like this little bitty piece of ham. I
Wow.
ain't went back ever since, but I'm better for it for sure. I feel like I am, anyways.
Do you
Um,
take like an EpiPen? Is it that serious? Do you
I have
carry
an
like
EpiPen.
You
Uh-huh.
carry with you.
I
Okay.
have Benadryl, EpiPen.
Okay.
It's that bad.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, and I love to travel. And
You
I love my
recently?
family, as you can see. I have my family's small here, but it's big because of marriages. So we have family that have married into families.
Right.
So when we do stuff, there's every month that we do stuff as a family. So I'm really big on family. Um, yeah, and I travel with my family. I just love my family. I love my family. Um, um, yeah. So I just want I don't know. That's me. I want to find somebody that I can love wholeheartedly. I know I have a really really big heart, and I want somebody that's also close with their family because again, I am big on family, and I want because I've been married before, and I love their families, and I think that's kind of why I stayed in them a little bit. Because I their families were amazing. Like, because I'm just so big on family. And when our families got together, it was just beautiful. You know, you marry the person, you marry the family. So yeah, I love the family dynamic. It just me and this person was like a no. But the family had got me in the trap. Like, you need to go. Yeah. Um, yeah, and it just I'm adventurous. I like to try stuff. Like I bungee jump, I skydive, I want to jump out of plane. I can't, because I'm double jointed. Uh, banana boat
Come
ride.
on, are you serious?
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. I went
I
to
think
I
it's-
Slide and took my whole family. It was like spring break for the kids, and I was like, I seen that come up like in Plano, in Texas, and it was like one of the first ones. So I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna go do this. I went over there and I'm like, I took my team. We gonna go do this. And then they were like, oh, so you were double jointed? I was like, yeah. He was like, when's the last time you had this? And I was like, oh, like last year. He was like, yeah, you can't go. What? What? So that's one thing on my bucket list I won't get to do. Uh,
that's
I'd like to go to like Audubon and just do like that 150, 200 miles per hour straight away. That's like a dream of mine. I want to do that. Um,
I do that
yeah.
now on the interstate.
Huh?
I do that now on the interstate.
Kind of, sort of. Yeah.
That's the thing. I'm joking. I'm playing. Shout out to the police and the state troopers. We're joking.
We're
Just
not.
joking.
It's okay.
I'm joking. Don't look for
I'm
me.
not joking. No, no.
If you could go anywhere, what's your fantasy or your bucket list destination for travel?
Oh. Oh.
Well, give me three. If there's several, then give me three.
It's just because you asked me, I can't remember. Like I have a list of, I have a bucket list. Like literally, I have one, and I mark stuff off as I do stuff. Um, so well, I haven't been to Paris. I haven't been to Paris. So, and I met a lady. I meet people all the time. Really, my sister's like, quit talking to people. I didn't even talk to her. She talked to me. Um, but she was from Paris, and so when I was getting here, she was lost, and we went, and I was like, she kept walking. I said, "Are you okay?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to find the bags." And I said, "Okay." I said, "You just got the plane with me." She's like, "Yeah." I said, "Come on." And so we start walking, and we went to the bag area. And I was like, "You have an accent. Like, where are you from?" And she said, "Oh, I'm from Paris." And I'm like, "Oh, that's beautiful. I'm trying to get there." She said, "Oh, you should come in December. You should stay." So she didn't invite me out for December to come to Paris.
Wow. Some
So
random person you just
yeah,
met.
we're gonna hang out today.
That's
I
what's
met
up.
her and another guy, so all three of us are gonna hang out today. And
That's
I
what's up.
thought she was with the guy, and they was all lost. And I said, "Oh, I thought she was with you." He said, "No,
Is he from Paris also?
no, he's from Atlanta."
Okay. So there's three strangers who met on the plane
Yeah.
and just gonna hang out
And
in
so my
Atlanta.
sister hates that. She's like, "I hate when you do that." I don't be just trying to meet people. People just kind of gravitate to me. I
You
don't.
got that type of spirit.
Yeah. And so I said, it doesn't matter. I don't even be talking. I could just be in the store and people just start talking to me. And my sister said I look mean. I said, well, obviously I don't look that mean because
Right.
literally everywhere I go, babies just be staring at me and people just be talking to me. And I'm like, if I look so mean, yeah, okay.
It's the energy that you give off that people are willing to overlook what facial expression you may have going on at that time.
Yeah, because my friend was like, I just felt love. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm full of that. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
What food, being allergic to pork, you can't eat any and everything. What food do you have? Do you have like I really want to try that one day? Are there certain dishes? Are there certain foods that you really love, or you really pretty much just seafood and poultry at this point.
I like bacon though.
Do you still eat? Can you eat bacon, or can you, or is it like straight turkey bacon
I
from here
can't
on
do
out?
no. I be trying it. I was like, just
Is
do
it
it
all
real
kind of pork?
crispy.
Any
I
pork?
just I put it in the oven and then I'll bake it till like it's crispy, and then I can only eat like two pieces, or I'm pushing it. Like over
Okay.
that, I might end up. It's that bad. I love pineapples, and I literally be like that, but I just take a
Will,
Benadryl
will
before I
pineapple make you break out too?
and
You're
I be like
oh,
my
wow,
lips
it's the
be like
acid.
looking like Respucia. What
It's the
was that?
acid
The
in
Will
pineapple.
Smith movie? Remember when he had the sea what's the seashell reaction?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was
I know what you're talking about.
that was me with that's me with the
He
stuff
was
on.
the dating coach. He was the dating coach or whatever. Like, right?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, so that's me with with my stuff.
Okay.
Like I'm allergic to nuts. I'm allergic to I be saying any fruit that got like hair on it. My sister, I said, like fur, kiwi fruit, peaches, all the stuff. If it got I'm allergic to passion fruit. I love passion fruit. It don't
Wow.
like me. It's just so much I'm allergic to. I hate it.
Were these like childhood allergies, or you like?
No, after I had my
Allergic?
son, it was like I wasn't allergic to nothing but pineapple.
Okay.
After I had my son, it was like, your body changes up. So I just kind of was, I didn't know I was allergic to this stuff till I ate it, and I was like, and it's like, I think you're allergic. I was like, no, because I've been eating this my whole life.
Right.
You find out all this stuff you're allergic to after you have kids. Your body changes. So
Sucks.
it's horrible. It's horrible.
That's
Um,
how has the experience overall, the experience has been beautiful in Atlanta? Have there been any negatives? Have there been anything that's like I can't believe
uh,
Texas for this, or it's just all been a beautiful experience?
um, I'm gonna say this. I feel like, and not to toot my own horn, but I feel like, golly, like men in Atlanta, they just think like I'm just the greatest thing ever. They've never met anybody like me before, and I'm just like, that's. I mean, I think that's a good thing, but I was just like, Jesus. So what is it like here then? Because I think I'm just regular.
Is it just on site, or when they once they find out you're
I
not
think
from
it's
there?
they meet you and they're like, wow, you're so pretty, and I'm like, thank you, and then they start talking to you and they're like, wow, you smart and you nice and you this and you know how to do that. And I just thought like, yeah, that's like normal stuff, right? It's not. And I didn't realize that. But then I've gotten to know a lot of women in Atlanta, and I'm like, they don't care who they use, men or women. So yeah,
It's a
there are a lot
different
of
world,
yankers in Atlanta, just
unfortunately.
across the board, and I'm not used to that. So I had to learn that kind of stuff, like just get over people. And I'm not used to that. Yeah. So
I'm gonna ask you just a couple more things, and I'm gonna get you out of here. You spoke before about being self-aware and that you were a self-aware person, and how important that was,
oh
being self-aware. How do you toe the line between being self-aware
mm,
and not self-conscious or overly critical, remaining aware of your faults and flaws, and
mhm,
being okay and accepting yourself and loving yourself, but also embracing them, but also working on bettering yourself
mhm.
while not being self-conscious or overly critical of your flaws?
I think you just answered that question.
Is it just a
It's just
decision?
just what you said. It's exactly that. Because I think again, all that comes with self love and maturity and growth and going through life, and you live and you literally you learn. And then people bringing things to your forefront that like, hey, I don't like this, or these are things that need to work on. And my personality used to be like, well, that's just who I am. You just like it or you don't, and I'm not for everybody. And then I had to realize that and I am in management, and I've been in management for a long time, and I know I have an aggressive or dominant personality when it comes to things, because that is just my life. And again, I'm the oldest, so I've always been in charge. I've always had to do everything, and I still do. So it's hard to, like, people think, I was like, it's not a like an act or a role. That is my life. So like, kind of having to not do it, it's hard. So I was like, I want to be able to just go over there and sit down and know that he got it. Like, I promise you I do. I don't want to have to do everything. It's exhausting. And I hear a lot of times like black men will say like, um well, we want a woman that's soft and da da da. And I'm like, and I get that, but I say you have to realize that Black women, for the most part, we have had to be in leading roles and be dominant and be dominant personalities. And sometimes it's hard to just be soft, because you have to feel like safe in a sense. Like I feel safe in this person's presence, so I feel like I can let down my guards. I feel like I feel safe here, and but I get where the Black man is coming from too, because it's like, okay, but I want a woman that's soft. That's like me meeting you and you're saying that I act like a female. So in getting that description of it, I was able to have a better understanding or clarity on things, right? Because I'm like, yeah, I don't want a man that act like a female. So a man does not want a woman that acts like a man. So whether intentionally or unintentionally, I realize I have a dominant personality, and these are things that I need to work on as far as like being more feminine and being more. I feel like I'm ladylike, but just being more feminine. I think I need to work on those things, being more feminine. And I feel like I'm working on it. Because I feel like you need to just be soft because you're a woman and you need to just be like that. So, um, and then I cuss. So that's I hate that I cuss. I cuss. Yeah, I be cussing. And I'm like, I do not like men that cuss, but I cuss. So yeah, and every time I be like, I'm not gonna cuss no more. I cuss more. Yeah. Um, and then what else? Because it's three things for sure. Mm, I can't think of what the other one is, but I have like three or four things I need to character flaws I need to work on. Period. Oh, and two, like I am very like, and not nobody else is money focused. I'm very money focused. Through my divorce, the person took a lot, and I didn't fight because I was tired, and so I feel like okay, well, I mean, I'm good, but I'm starting over in a sense. So, and I had already kind of like set my life up. I'm kind of that person, like I'm a planner, and I kind of had already planned my stuff out and saved and invested and done all this stuff. And then it's like, okay, well now I got to start all the way over. That was disappointing. But I get to start over. So that's how I try to look at things differently. Like I feel like God's going to provide me with different opportunities, and I can have, like with the insurance, I get to start over, So, yeah. Um yeah.
What's the piece of advice that you would give to young ladies out here who are operating in masculine field, masculine or
Dominant.
dominant fields that are basically dominated by men, and they're still trying to remain, hold on to their femininity. They're trying to
Mhm.
date and they want to be able to come home and be soft,
Yeah.
but still they got to operate in that masculine energy during the day to be able to compete. What piece of advice would you give to them?
I'm gonna say if they're in situations, like I said before, I feel like when you come home and you are in a secure situation, it's easy to do that. But outside of that, I feel like more like again self-awareness, dating yourself, loving yourself, and pampering yourself, treating you like you want somebody to treat you, love on you like you want somebody to love on you, take yourself on dates, travel, and I feel like it makes you softer. It makes you just love differently. I feel like you're more open and receptive to receiving love, and you're definitely better able and capable of giving it because you're loving on yourself, and it makes you softer because you're loving you. And it just, I don't know, love just generates love. I feel like, yeah,
Amen.
yeah.
Thank you, Nika.
Hmm.
Guys, if you want to get in contact with Nika, you can comment, you can respond in the comment section. If you want to send a shout out to Nika directly, bwaynepresents at gmail.com. Last words, Nika, before we get out of here.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you, Black man, and it's been beautiful talking to you. And I don't know. I just wish us all to find our person in our happy place and love. I hope for black love. Yeah.
Black love will always
Yeah.
reign
Always.
supreme,
I
and
love
it
it.
will never be denied and never be
Yeah.
suppressed. But in order to find black love, black people, we got
Hmm.
to learn to love ourselves, and not all of us do. So
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
the first step on the path
Hmm.
to black unity and black love as a collective, is us learning how to love ourselves. And we used
Right.
to, but we got to find our way again, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
All right.